Hey, what's up? This is Mike Portnoy, and you're watching Loudwire.
Hey everyone, Gruhamed here. It's Wikipedia Fact or Fiction time with Mr. Mike Portnoy. Thank you so much for coming, man.
My pleasure, man.
It's awesome that we heard that you're actually a fan of the series.
Totally.
So that was like such a cool honor for me.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to have you here. So obviously you know how it works. So let's get into it, shall we? You're born, Michael.
That's true. I was born.
Born, okay. Yes, that's one. Fine, that's one more than usual. But you're born Michael Stephen Portnoy.
That is correct.
Correct.
Stephen with a PH.
Yep, that's how they got it.
Yep.
All right, fact. Your father worked as a DJ at a local radio station, and this helped you gain an appreciation for music at an early age.
Absolutely. That is
Yeah.
fact. My dad was. My dad did many things. When I was born, he was actually making a film at that time, and he was like in circles here in New York City with like Martin Scorsese was coming up and Brian De Palma was coming up. But his film never came out. He went on from there to do a bunch of other things, including working at a radio station, KRML in Carmel, California. He saw the movie Play Misty for Me with Clint Eastwood, and in that movie,
okay.
Clint Eastwood was a DJ at KRML, Carmel, California, and my dad was like, that's the life I want. So he picked up, moved to Carmel, and got a job at that radio station.
Damn.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I grew up doing the radio show with him, and
Did you?
spinning. He'd let me spin the records.
How old were you?
This was around 73, 74, so I was around 6 or 7. And I'd want to play Cheech and Chong records and stuff like that. and he would let me just pick whatever I want. My first taste of fame was placing a collect call to the operator, and the operator recognized my voice because she listens to the radio show.
No way.
I was
a
like
little
6 or
kid?
7 years old, yeah.
Wow. All up since there, too. Not bad. Most people would that's like their only taste of fame. And
Right.
That's it. It ends there. You've peaked at 6 years old, whatever, and you're done.
But he's the reason I became such a music fan.
It says your father suggested the name of Dream Theater, which was the name of a small theater he ran in Monterey, California.
Well, fact that he was the one that suggested the name, but fiction that he ran it.
He didn't run it,
He didn't
okay.
run it, no. It was a movie theater called the Dream Theater, and they would show all like midnight movies. I used to go see Rocky Horror there,
Nice.
and Rock and Roll High School, and
Very good.
Clockwork Orange. It was all the midnight movies, and I used to go there every weekend. And it was this really cool movie theater, and when we were fishing for names, my dad, I remember getting home and there was a message on my answering machine, like, what do you think about the name Dream Theater? And I didn't even give it a second thought. I was like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. And then, a couple days later when the band was just struggling to come up with a name, I was like, my dad left this message on my machine. What do you think of this? Everybody liked it, so we went with it.
There you go. Charlie Dominici was let go because the band was starting to feel the limitations of his voice. You guys were looking for more of a Bruce Dickinson, Jeff Tate type of singer. And it says that he infamously shouted, "Scream for me, Long Beach," which is like a Bruce thing that he says, several times through one of the shows, but you were performing in Bayshore.
Well, that information is fact,
Okay.
but it's fiction that it was Charlie.
Oh,
it's
really?
Yeah, so there was somebody else that did that. Charlie we let go because he was much older than us and he came from a different background. It was like, with Charlie it was like Billy Joel trying to sing with Queensryche. And he wasn't the right fit. Great musician, great voice, but not for a progressive
Just
metal
not
band.
the right fit.
So we went on another search for a new singer, and we were working with this guy, Steve Stone from Seattle, who was like a Jeff Tate look-alike and sound-alike. And we were working with him, and we had this gig opening for Marillion scheduled, and we were supposed to do the gig instrumentally. But we were like, you know what? Halfway through the show, why don't we bring this guy Steve out and let him, we'll unveil our new singer. And before the gig, I was showing him Live After Death, the video. So I was like, yeah, this is what we want. We want a Bruce Dickinson type frontman. So he gets on stage and he just keeps singing, "Scream for me, Long Beach, scream for me, Long Beach." And we were in Bayshore. So yeah, that was a very short-lived relationship. We immediately fired him after that.
The great I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. The earthquake struck in Japan while Dream Theater was touring there. The band held a minute's silence at every show in Japan in memory of those who died.
Well, fact, yeah, we were stuck there for this big earthquake in 95, I think it was. Yeah,
I don't have the
But
year.
yeah, so that is a fact. But no, we didn't do it. We didn't do a minute-long silence thing at every show. We just did it at one show the next day when we played Osaka.
Okay.
But yeah, that was terrifying. Being in an earthquake. I mean, I'm from New York. I had never been in an earthquake, and I remember it woke us up at like 5 in the morning, and I was like on the 32nd floor of this hotel, and I remember looking out the window and just seeing the whole building rocking like this. And I've never run down 32 flights of stairs so fast. I'm pushing old people out of the way.
Oh, it's freaky, man. Like those buildings are designed to
They're
wobble.
designed to do that,
So
but I didn't know that at the time. It
but
was terrifying.
in that building, you
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
No, it was
I can
terrifying.
imagine.
Terrifying.
God. It says that you consumed your final alcoholic drink on April 20th, 2000, after the final show of Dream Theater Scenes from a memory tour. And you found AA, the 12-step program. You credit it for saving your life, and it says you make it a priority to attend meetings while touring.
Fact, yeah, that was my actually April 20th is also my birthday by total coincidence. But it wasn't like I gave up drinking on my birthday. It just so happened that was the last night of the tour, and when I got on the plane the next day, I never picked up a drink again. I had been trying to quit for years, and I knew it was a problem. And
Yeah.
I would always say, I'm not gonna drink tonight, and sure enough, I'd find myself completely wasted by the end of the night, and always drinking with the opening band or with the crew guys, and just never could say no. But after that final gig of that European tour, I got on the plane and went to AA as soon as I got home, and yeah, I haven't picked up a drink since.
Finally, was there a rock bottom there for you, or was it just enough's enough?
Enough said. Yeah, I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. It just I knew that I no longer had control over the drink. The drink had control over me.
Sure.
And just sick and tired of waking up every day hungover and having blacked out the night before, and just not knowing what I had done and just being reckless. And my two kids were just recently born, and I didn't want to become a rock and roll casualty like Keith Moon or John Bonham or whatever, so I finally just threw in the towel.
2010, you announced that you'd be leaving Dream Theater, citing better relationships in other projects, feeling burnt out, and your desire for a 5-year break.
Well, I mean, obviously the fact that I left the band is a fact, but the 5-year break thing is fiction. That's a what is it called? What is it called when not a rumor, a myth, or a urban legend?
Okay,
the 5-year thing is an urban legend. I never said 5 years. I just wanted to have a hiatus, just because we had been going 25 years, boom, 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 no break, write, record, tour, and it was burning me out. It didn't mean I wanted to stop making music. One of the biggest misconceptions was after I left Dream Theater, I went off and did like 5 different bands and side projects. Everyone's like, we thought you wanted a break. And it's like, well, I didn't want a break from making music. I just needed a break from the Dream Theater camp.
Yeah.
It was 25 years without a break in that camp, and I was just fried and needed other people and other musical outlets in my life. So yeah, but the 5-year hiatus, I think, I had suggested a hiatus of any length, and somehow it got misinterpreted as a 5-year, which coincidentally would have been now, so it would have been up by now, actually, if it was a 5-year hiatus.
After you played on Avenged Sevenfold's Nightmare album and toured with them, this is the way Wikipedia put it. It said the band decided to sever ties with you.
Well, I wouldn't put it that way. All I was ever committed for was that Nightmare, the first 6 months of the Nightmare tour, and ending in December of 2010. So that was all that they ever committed to. It was all I ever committed to, and we saw that through to its completion. Where we were going to go from there, we didn't know. And I think once I left Dream Theater, there was so much drama and bullshit, and the stupid headlines and all the bullshit. There was so much drama. I think it really turned the Avenged guys off. And I wasn't trying to. I never put out these press releases and was trying to be in the blabbermouth headlines every day, but they were, these websites were just doing whatever they could to get the dirt, and so I think Avenged really wanted to stay away from all that controversy, and at that point, it's like, all right, let's let's finish out, what was agreed upon, and then I'll go do my thing, and they'll do their thing. And I don't think they wanted to be held responsible from my decision to leave the band.
Oh, okay. You feel like they would have probably gotten some backlash.
If I had stayed with them a little bit longer, I think there already was backlash in their camp, and I think that they were feeling that heat, and they wanted to, they didn't want controversy. They were still healing from the Rev's death and everything. So the last thing they wanted was all this Dream Theater bullshit, So I don't blame them. I get it.
Gotcha. It said that you approached Dream Theater to rejoin after they had already brought Mike Mangini in. Mangini at this time left his job at Berkeley. He was a professor. So your offer was rebuffed via Dream Theater's lawyer.
Can I pass? Am I allowed to pass on any of these?
You don't need to answer if you don't want.
I'll just say that there was, once I left, there was a tremendous amount of legalities and technicalities, and, Avenged was feeling the way like I just described to you. So, I'll just say that I was doing whatever it would take to keep peace and keep things going smooth. And at that point, they were just only speaking through the lawyer. But there's a lot, it's a 25-year relationship, coming to an end. So obviously it goes very, very deep.
Sure.
Not only personally and emotionally, but also legally and all the red tape that's involved with something like that. So it was a tough time, a tough period, and luckily we all got through it. But I don't wish that kind of stuff on anybody in the bands. It's tough.
Thank you so much for coming, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Winery Dogs, check them out. Mike Portnoy, everybody.